Shalom, Yasharala. I want to start out by giving infinite honors to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. I want to give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation and greetings to you sincere Akin, pushing this truth across the four winds. As you see, man, I had a clip about this philosopher from Greece named Socrates. My personal opinion, I think this guy was a Jake, in contrast to popular belief. I think he was a so-called Negro. You look at his bust of him, he has Negroid features, to me. But my point is, when you look at that, when you hear about that triple filter he bought out, and you look at what goes on in Israel, a lot of these camps can use that model, especially IUIC, man. All right? Their main thing with us brothers in GMS is they call us bums. All right, when they can't come at us scripturally and debate with us scripturally, or come out and prove where we're teaching some off doctrine. So what do? When the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. They call us bums and pedophiles. All right? They can't go in the scripture and show that we're pedophiles. All right? And they can't find one case, just one, of a brother in GMS that ever was caught in pedophilia or rape. All right? Either or. Not one case of a brother that's been jailed or who have been exposed for doing such a thing, and they call us bums, all right? They don't have no isolated cases where they bringing up that brothers in GMS don't have jobs, we don't work, all right? So when they see they can't debate their cause with us scripturally, they resort to slander, and that's nigga shit. The scripture condemns it. They become backbiters, all right? But yet they're supposed to be men of the Lord, bearing themselves as angels of light. But when they're just ravenous wolves conducting themselves as niggas, all right? So another thing about this, with them calling us bums, I mean, when you go to the scriptures, man, the Most High dealt with the downtrodden. He said he dealt with the poor. He dealt with those that didn't have according to worldly standards. So when you look at the men of GMS, it's obviously that the men of GMS are rich in spirit. They're judging men about their outer appearance, about the sackcloth we wear. Because under the sackcloth, we all have on, none of us are filthy, looking like a bum. All right? They don't know where brothers work and where brothers live. So they're just being straight liars, bearing false witness, all right? Amongst my camp, man, we have lawyers amongst my camp, truck drivers amongst my camp, occupational therapists. And I hate, I'm not being simple. We have brothers with houses, brothers with foreign cars, and I'm not being simple. I'm just saying, just proving the point how these guys lie and bear false witness. I mean, through you have well-to-do brothers, and you have brothers that have brothers that are struggling, that come on hard times. I've come on hard times. All right, that's a part of the truth. All right, but when you call somebody a bum, and the person has a job, and the person is doing as the scriptures commanded, you become a straight liar, and you're doing it because you're wicked. When we say something about them, man, we're made to bring out a bogus breakdown and mangle the scriptures. All we do is say, man, they teaching off doctrine. If you follow this doctrine, their teacher, you're going to end up being put to death. We're not lying on them. You could go pull up their breakdown of the mark of the beast. All right? You can pull it up. All right? So from them teaching that off as sit down, if somebody go get a radio frequency identification chip, And Nate's teaching that the mark of the beast is an embargo, or Christianity, whatever these niggas teach, if you follow that doctrine and teach, you're going to be led into a ditch, man. If the blind lead the blind, you'll be led into a ditch. So we are warning the sheep. We are warning about these guys, according to Ezekiel, the 33rd chapter, so their blood don't be on our hand. Those that go listen to that doctrine, we're telling you the truth of the scriptures. If you listen to that madness, you will be put to death, okay? We're not bearing false witness. The proof is in the pudding. You can pull up the sit-downs that they put on the internet, on YouTube. We're not lying on them when we say that, okay? But when they come make these accusations towards us, they're lying. They're being 100% full-fledged niggers, okay? And then if these guys were so scholarly and so scripturally deep, they would know the type of people that the Most High deal with. And I'm gonna go through a few scriptures, man. He gets the ones that are downtrodden and fucked up. He said he didn't come for those that were well. He came for those that was in need of a physician. Okay? And if they use that triple filter that this guy Socrates asks, well, are you positive what you're saying? Is it true? Do the majority of these guys in GMS don't have jobs like you say? Are they bums? What's your definition of a bum? Do they fit the criteria of a bum? Well, if they don't, you're lying. But let me go to some precepts, man. And everybody's going to be judged according to their works. I'm going to get that, man. Okay? I'm going to start off in Luke, the 16th chapter. All right? No, I think it's Luke 14. Salakia. Luke 14 or 16. Here we go. Now, these are the type of people the Most High deal with, man. All right? If these guys were scripturally deep, they would understand, man. Those are the people that the Most High draw nigh to. Those that are in a lower state. All right? Those that are barely making it from living check to check. All right? We have cases where brothers have been amongst us. They were homeless before they came to the truth. All right, when they come to the truth, now they pop up with a job, pop up with a vehicle, pop up with their own place. The Most High is dealing with them. The Most High supplied their needs. But when they came amongst the fold, we had cases where brothers were homeless. Okay? How dare you lie on the men of the Lord? This is Luke chapter 14, verse 16. Then said he unto him, a certain man made a great supper and bade many. And he sent his servant at supper time to say to them that were bidding, come, for all things are now ready. All right, and that's our great king, man. He's bidding us to the marriage banquet, man. All right, this is him giving that analogy in a parable. Verse 18, and they will without, and Salakia, and they all with one consent begin to make excuses. The first said it to him, I have bought a piece of ground. All right, this is somebody well-to-do. They bought him some land, and I must need to go and see it. I pray that thee have me excused, all right? These 501c3 type niggas, all right? And another said, I have bought 5 yoke of oxen. There's somebody who got getting it in, all right? Back then, you bought 5 yoke of oxen, man. You were well-to-do. And I go to prove them, especially in the Roman captivity. We was in captivity. You buying 5 head oxen, you were well-to-do. Okay, as a slave in captivity, you had to pay tribute to Rome. I pray that thee have me excused. And another say, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come. We all know in Yasharala, you had to pay a dowry. You had to have a place to bring her. Okay? So the servant came and showed his Lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said unto his servant, go out quickly into the streets and the lanes of the city and bring hither the poor. What? The bums. I thought they were bums. He said, bring in the poor. All right? And the maimed. All right? We spiritually maimed in this society, man. This doctrine of devils, this westernized philosophy has us deaf, blind, Um, what Isaiah the first chapter say? The whole body is sick, full of petrifying sores, man. Okay? And the halt and the blind, the lowly, man. Okay? And the servant of the Lord said, it is done as thou commanded. And yet there is room. And the Lord said unto thy servant, go out in the highways and the hedges and compel them to come into my house that it may be filled. These are the type of people the Most High pick, man. The downtrodden in the society. For I say unto you that none of these men which were bidding shall taste my supper. These niggas with these haughty ass attitudes, man. All right, these guys with these government contracts, these 501c3 contracts where they're tax exempt according to the government, and Esau is giving them perks, okay? But they calling the men that the Most High dealing with bums. But they're in bed with Esau, have a covenant with Esau, but they calling the men of the Lord bums, the downtrodden bums. All right, and there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto him, if any man come to me and hate not his father, all right, well, that's it on that. But the point was made, man, that the Most High sent that prophet to the highways and hedges to find the poor, all right, the poor, the maimed, those that are in a lower state. When you look at Israel as a whole in this society, you so-called Negroes in the society, according to government stats, 7 out of 10 homes is in the Negro community, the people live below the poverty line. Okay? Most of the elect are gonna come from below the poverty line, man. All right? All right. Let me get another precept. Go to Matthew, the 8th chapter, the 20th verse, and it reads, and Yahushua said unto them, the foxes have holes, and the birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man have nowhere to lay his head. So our Heavenly Father didn't even have a home. Will he be called a bum? All right. The Most High provided for him as he went to do the works. All right. Everything he needed, the Most High provided for him. But he didn't have a place to call his home. Okay. That brother didn't have a place to call his home. So they would have called our great king a bum. All right. Our great king would have been called a bum. Our great king went from city to city. All right. And people opened their doors for him. All right. And the Most High provided everything they needed. Okay. And I'm going to get that precept, man. Let me go to 2 Corinthians, the 9th chapter. It might be the 8th chapter, 2 Corinthians 8, verse 9 is one of them. All right. This is not what I want, but I'm going to read it. It got to be in the 9th chapter. All right. 2 Corinthians 8, verse 9. For ye know that the grace of our Mashiach, Yahushua the Anointed, that though he was rich, yet for your sakes he became poor. And our great king was rich in spirit. He had all knowledge and wisdom. That's why the scriptures say wisdom is to be had above fine gold. But as a citizen in Rome, he was not rich, that you through his poverty may be rich. In his lower state, we became rich for what he did for us, how he was downtrodden. He was in captivity in Rome. And what he did when they put him on the cross and did all kind of detestable, abominable things for him through what he did, we became rich, all right? That's a good one that came out. I wasn't even looking for that one, all right? Now let me go to 2 Corinthians 9 and 8. That's what I'm looking for. All right, this is what I was looking for. All right? I'm going to start at 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8. And Yahweh is able to make all grace abound toward you, all right? That ye always have all sufficiency in all things. All right, now look, they call us bums, but our Heavenly Father supply everything we need to push this gospel, to push this truth, all right? He gives us our necessities, all right? He blesses us with our necessities, our food, water, raiment, all right? Now let's get technical. In this society, for you to push this truth, you have to have Wi-Fi. You have to have an iPad, or one of these smartphones or something, all right? All right? Brothers have that. Brothers have Wi-Fi, all right? For you to have Wi-Fi, you got to have a home, an apartment, or whatnot. Brothers have places to lay our heads. The Most High don't have us leaning on no woman, begging a woman for food, water, and raiment, all right? The Most High gives us our bare minimum. He gives us jobs where we have to go to work so we can have a roof over our head, man. I live 70 miles away from New Orleans. Week in and week out, I have to drive to New Orleans. I don't ride a bus. I don't hitchhike. The Most High has blessed me with a vehicle to make it to New Orleans. The Most High has blessed me with funds to pay insurance so I don't be breaking the law in this society. All right? Everything we need to push this truth, the Heavenly Father provides, all right? You think these cameras we have cameras, camera stands, all this, what is free? Well, we going stealing cameras, we going to steal our iPhones, our Androids. No, brothers work, man. Some brothers are well-to-do according to the society standards, man. All right? And we take care of one another, man. In fact, let me get that. We have a lot of this going on when brothers don't have. When brothers are on their knuckles. I've been on my knuckles. Brothers have refreshed me multiple times. Okay? What am I looking for? Acts, where they say everybody shared. I know it's in Acts chapter 2. Bear with me, Yasharala. Here we go. All right. I'm going to start at verse 43. And fear came upon every soul. So many wonderful signs were done by the apostles. And they all that believed were together and had all things in common. Okay? And what we have in common is truth, man. All right? We fear Yahweh Shema Shah. We have that in common, man. We seek after righteousness. We have that in common. And sold their possessions and good and parted them to all men, that every man had need. All right? And that's what we do amongst each other, man. Ain't no bums around us, man. No literal bums with the meaning of bums. Somebody just out here trying to live off of somebody without working, without putting their hand to the plow. All right? We don't have no guys like that amongst us. Since I've been in the truth, niggas have crept in. Don't get it twisted. But still, like even when niggas crept in, they had gigs. They was just doing nigga shit and got expelled. All right? That's a fallacy. That's wicked. Okay? In fact, let me get 1 Thessalonians. It's commanded us that we have to work. This 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11. And that ye study to be quiet. All right? Don't be a busybody lying on somebody, because when it comes to the scriptures, they're breaking the scriptures down accurately and you're not. All right? And you're being found out that you're not apt to teach, because you're teaching off doctrine. So now you want to slander the people that are teaching sound doctrine, and that you do your own business and to work with your own hands, as we commanded you. Us brothers work, man. We toil, we labor. Yeah, we come in binds where we go. It's times brothers be out of work, brothers be looking for jobs, but the Most High supplies, man. We not living like a bum. I'm talking about when those times arise. All right, brothers refresh one another. Then the Most High provides. The Most High, sometimes the Most High have a brother lose a job so he can learn. Brother get a job, making too much money, and the Most High have to humble his ass, man. But that rarely happens amongst the brotherhood, man. These niggas gonna be judged for all these all of these accusations and lies that they're making against the men of the Lord. Okay. In fact, let me get that. These prophecies will be fulfilled. This is Wisdom Silent 5, and I'm gonna start from the top. Then shall the righteous man stand great boldness before them of such that have afflicted them. The people that are lying on them, making accusations against them, calling them pedophiles. The worst thing you can call a man is a pedophile or a rapist. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the worst. The worst is a faggot, but still, those are some of the most lowest things you could call a man, and made no account of his labors. Don't make no account of our labors that we are toiling for Yahweh Shem Shai, and not making account that brothers work. Brothers go hard out there and slave. Brothers work 12-hour days in this flame, man. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, because they're going to be willing in the day of the elect's power. Oh, we lied on these guys, and the Most High was with them the whole time. Yeah, this is going to come to pass. And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. The Most High going to glorify brothers, beam them up. Brothers going to have incorruptible vessels. Going to be looking like Super Saiyans around this bitch. They ain't going to be calling them bombs then. Calling us bombs then. Lord willing, we all of the elect. So far beyond all they had looked for. All right? That's the beautiful thing, man. The Most High have chosen the foolish things of this world and is going to confound these niggas. I'm going to get that scripture next. And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall they say within themselves. This was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb of reproach? That we are proverbs of reproach. Us men of the Lord, man, we get lied on day in and day out by these other camps and by the so-called white man and by the heathen round about us. But this prophecy is going to come to pass, and we will have our recompense. The elect will have their recompense. We will have revenge, man. You niggas are going to be counted for every outer word that proceeded out of your mouth. Okay? Right, let me get this precept. This is 1 Corinthians, the first chapter. I'm going to start at verse 26. All right? For ye, Salakia, 1 Corinthians 1 and 26, for see your calling, Akim, how that many of you are not wise men after the flesh. All right, in this society, we're counted as naught. We're not going to count it as the wise. They're calling us bombs, pedophiles, rapists. Not many mighty. Not many noble are called. We wasn't around here as detectives. We wasn't detectives and lawyers and stuff, although they're amongst us, you know. Okay? No, we don't have no detectives amongst us, though. Man, I don't know what possessed a so-called black man don't want to be a motherfucking cop. All right? But the Most High have chosen the foolish things of this world to confound the wise. We are counted as fools, man. All right? We're counted as fools in the society. And Yahweh have chosen the weak things of this world to confound things which are mighty. Bums, idiots, madmen. All right? But when it comes to the scriptures, the Most High gave us a mouthful of wisdom where the gainsayers can't resist. When it comes to history, that wisdom has turned us into historians, scholars, man. All right? We get deep in the economy, economics. All right? Geographers, cartographers. All right? But nobody make account of our labors, man. That take when brothers are studying week in and week out, breaking bread with one another, praying, fasting, they don't take account of it. We get ridiculed more and more. But our great King said, if they did it to me, the servant is not above the master. So what? It comes with the territory. But you niggas gonna be judged just like everybody that came against our great King when he walked the earth. They're gonna be judged. Those that stuck him with the spear, those that spit on him and said, Caesar is our king, crucify him, all you niggas gonna get put to death. And so be it. Lord willing, me and my Akim and the brothers, my fellow laborers in Yahweh Shai that's pushing sound doctrine. Lord willing, man, we be in that righteous number. So with that, I'm going to give infinite honors to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles, a great millstone, and salutation to you, sincere Iuic, and pushing this truth across the four winds. Kwame Yasharala.